Good afternoon, folks. This is Deb, and this is a short take. Now, over the next few days, we have a lot of important stuff to talk about. The budget is one of those things, but that's not for tonight because that probably will not be taken up in the Senate until sometime in June. And I want to make sure everybody understands what we need to do even before they start discussing it. But that will be for the next video. Right now, we are going to talk about the dismantling and the destruction of the American public health system under RFK Jr. So RFK Jr. has unilaterally decided that the CDC will no longer recommend COVID vaccines for healthy children and healthy pregnant women. Now, this is in spite of the fact that the vaccines are safe for both healthy children and healthy pregnant women and offer benefits even for the child that is born of these healthy pregnant women. So picture this. We have an infectious disease, and you're not going to vaccinate your healthy child. First of all, you're not getting a vaccine because you're sick. You're getting a vaccine because it prevents you from getting illnesses that you may then pass on to people who are maybe not healthy, or a healthy child may be carrying COVID and bring it home to an elderly grandparent. But because the Trump administration doesn't give a shit about science, and RFK Jr. is a crackhead who is an anti-vaxxer, we have literally turned our public health system over to an anti-vaxxer. It's as simple as that. A man who has systematically caused fear, uncertainty, and doubt in science and the public health. This is where we are in America right now. So let me tell you where we are. To date, we have lost 1,193,165 people to the COVID illness, not the vaccine, to the COVID virus. Right now in America, which no one is reporting, except for maybe ABC News, where I found the story, 300 people in this country are dying every week from COVID. And those people are dying because they have not bothered to get their vaccines updated, or because they're not bothering to go to the doctor because they really do believe that COVID is just like the common cold. Okay? In other words, they're not seeking medical treatment. We have a country of people who are ripe for misinformers and liars like RFK Jr., and we need to get over that as a nation. Unfortunately, you can't legislate that. And unfortunately, nobody can force you to get a vaccine, and no one has forced you to get a vaccine. But it is deadly when a man like RFK Jr. prevents the Centers for Disease Control and the National Institutes of Health and other scientific organizations from giving you advice based on real science and research. RFK Jr. has literally fired thousands of people from our public health system. He has cut hundreds of millions of dollars from research for not just how to optimize the COVID vaccine, but how to optimize a bunch of vaccines in preparation for the next pandemic. Because if you are a logical thinking person, you can't believe that there is not going to be another pandemic coming down the road, okay? We are a mobile society. We travel to other countries. There are viruses everywhere, and then we bring them back and we spread them, okay? And we have to be prepared for that. He has left us in a position where we will be totally unprepared for any of this. Let's take a look at measles. I went into my Walgreens the other day just to buy some mouthwash. And there in a big sign, measles vaccines, no waiting. We now live in a country where we had measles eradicated. But because of people like RFK Jr. who spread lies about the MMR vaccine, we now have people with vaccine hesitancy who are not vaccinating their children for the measles. So now in America, we have 1,046 cases of measles across 31 states. 3 people have died, and 96% of the people who have had the measles in this country in this latest outbreak are unvaccinated. The people who lost their child, the first death from this, said it wasn't all that bad. Well, it wasn't all that bad. They lost a child, and they're still defending their decision not to vaccinate her or their other children. Not only has he done a great disservice to the medical health profession in this country, he also cut $2 billion for a program that supports vaccines for the most vulnerable children in America, and that is the uninsured. And believe me, folks, if Donald Trump's budget passes, there will be billions more needed because there will be millions more children uninsured in this country. And yet he cut all of the money, laid off all of the people, and closed all of the clinics that serve that underserved portion of our population. He has taken fluoride out of water. He has now got this Make America Healthy Again Commission. Their first report is found to be fraught with errors and outright fake research. We now have a Surgeon General and Dr. Casey Means, who decided to give up her medical career to become a functional medical specialist. She considers herself a metabolic health evangelist, and she's out there on Instagram with millions of followers as she serves them up a constant diet of bullshit medical advice and sells her products to millions of people. These people are unqualified to run the country's public health system. There are 335 million people who rely on these people for information. And RFK Jr. is making sure that they don't get correct information. He lied during his confirmation hearing when he said he wouldn't take vaccines away. That's exactly what he's doing. He lied when he said he would use the best research available to make his decisions. He's not using scientific research at all. He literally made that decision on what to recommend for vaccines on his own without even consulting the CDC, allowing them to go through the process of investigating and discussing and voting on what would be conveyed to the American people. RFK Jr., like the orange buffoon that put him in charge, is a liar. And the people who confirmed him on the Republican side of the aisle were taken for a ride. But they should have known better after watching him in action. It is important, folks, that you start thinking about what's going on here in more than sound bites. So I urge you to go and join our YouTube channel so you can see all of the background in this video. It is all going to be posted in the description of the YouTube version of this video. I will talk to you all later. We will be talking about the budget next.